Shalom. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rahakwadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to all Akim, preaching his word in truth and in sincerity and in faith. This is the brother Yeshaya from the GMS Plain Tables camp here in Philadelphia. And I just want to do a quick lesson on the spirit brothers are supposed to be in. So you're supposed to be in the spirit. All brothers should be in the spirit of hastening the day of the Lord, basically hastening the destruction of this world and the establishment of our kingdom. You're not supposed to be in a complacent spirit, happy with your life, just in the thinking to yourself that whenever the Lord comes, he comes. No, you should hasten that day. This is 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 12. It says, looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of the Most High, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Yeah, you're supposed to be looking for and hasting. And I got the definition for the word hasten. It has to cause something to happen sooner than it would otherwise. Yeah, so you're supposed to pray continuously to the Most High that he sends back his son to establish the kingdom of Israel and to save us out of this hell that we're living in. This is Mark chapter 13 verse 20. It says, and except that the Lord had shortened those days, no flesh should be saved, but for the elect's sake whom he hath chosen, he has shortened the days. Yeah, so if it wasn't for the Most High shortening those days, the scripture says no flesh would be saved. It's so much wickedness going on, in this world. Nobody would be able to make it, in this society. Wickedness would completely overtake the world, even though, the world is already completely covered in wickedness. But if this place keeps going on, the wickedness will increase. This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 2. It says, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. Yeah, so we're not going to know the exact year, the exact day that the day of the Lord is, when Yahushua returns, but we have to still, look forward and hasten that day each and every day. It says, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. It says, but ye brethren are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. Ye are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the light nor of darkness. It says, therefore let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. Yeah, so you're supposed to be constantly watching for the return of Yahushua. You're not supposed to be just living your life like nothing's going on. You're not watching the news. You're not watching current events. You're just living your best life and not paying attention to what's going on. And basically, you could care less whether Yahushua returns or not. You're not supposed to be in that spirit. You're supposed to be in the spirit of watching and hastening the day. This is Acts chapter 1 verse 6. It says, when they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom of Israel? Yeah, so the disciples were speaking to Yahushua, and they were asking him, are you going to restore the kingdom, right now? Basically, they were in the right spirit. They were in the spirit of wanting the kingdom right now, and that's the same spirit brothers should be in, the spirit of wanting the kingdom to come right now, not saying, okay, the Lord can return in 20 years or 25 years, because you got plans of, establishing yourself in a society. You should want that the kingdom to come basically to today, tomorrow, a month, but, basically as soon as possible. It says, and he said unto them, it is not for you to know the times or the seasons which the Father hath put in his own power. Yeah, so he was telling the disciples that the day that the Most High has planned, it's not for us to know, but we're going to know when it's near. We're not going to know the exact date and the exact time, the exact day and the exact time, but we're going to know when it's near. This is Isaiah chapter 51 verse 14. It says, the captive exile hasteneth that he may be loosed, and that he should not die in the pit, nor that his bread should fail. Yeah, so a captive is basically a slave, and an exile is someone that's been kicked out of their land. And we are both these things. We're slaves in this society, and we've been exiled out of our land. Those Amalekites, those Khazars are living in our land, in the land of Israel. So we have to, it says, the captive exile hasteneth that he may be loose. Yeah, so we have to be hastened to be loose out of this hell that we're living in, this current situation that we're living in. It says, in that he should not die in the pit. In the pit is this horrible condition that we call our lives. This is Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 6. It says, flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of Yahweh's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. Yeah, so your mind has to not be in the same mind that these Babylonians are in, just living your everyday life, paying attention to stuff like sports, watching reality TV. You have to flee from the mindset that these people in this society have. I know every brother isn't physically living in Babylon, but Babylon has basically encompassed the whole world, has spread its philosophy throughout the whole world. Yeah, it says, and deliver every man his soul. Yeah, so you have to deliver your soul from this mindset of these Babylonians. Because if you have the same mindset that everybody in this world has, you're gonna, the same way the world is gonna be destroyed, you're gonna be destroyed with them. This is Micah chapter 2, verse 10. It says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you with a sore destruction. Yeah, so this isn't our rest. This isn't our resting place. So you can't get comfortable in this world, because it's not our world. Like it says in Job chapter 9, verse 24, the world is given into the hand of the wicked. Yeah, so this isn't our world. So you're not supposed to get comfortable here. You're not supposed to get complacent and happy. Like, oh yeah, I'm happy with my life. I got a good job. Everything going good for me. It says this is not your rest. This is Hebrews chapter 13, verse 14. It says, for here have we no continuing city, but seek one to come. Yeah, so you have to seek that continuing city. You have to seek that righteous kingdom. It says, but seek one to come. Yeah, the kingdom we seek is the kingdom of Israel being established on the planet Earth. That new Jerusalem coming out of the heaven, it basically is the elect men coming down from the chariots and establishing the nation of Israel on the planet Earth. Yeah, so that's the city you should seek. This is Hebrews chapter 11, verse 8. It says, by faith Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he should after receive for an inheritance, obeyed, and he went out, not knowing whither he went. By faith he sojourned in the land of promise, as in a strange country, dwelling in tabernacles with Isaac and Jacob, the heirs with him of the same promise. It says, for he looked for a city which hath foundations, whose builder and maker is the Most High. Yeah, so that's the city that the elect men, okay, the servants of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai are looking for. A city whose builder and maker is the Most High, which is that is the kingdom of Israel, which is going to be established by the Most High Son Yahushai and ran by his elect men, that 144,000. This is Romans chapter 8, verse 20. It says, for the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who hath subjected the same in hope. It says, because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of the Most High. Yeah, so while we're living on this earth, in these current bodies, we're under the bondage of corruption. We have minds that are constantly, doing things, confusing us, basically, putting evil thoughts coming into your head. You doing things that's not expedient for you, basically committing iniquity. Well, not iniquity, but committing sin, It says, for we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now. Yeah, so we're in pain. Our bodies, our minds are in pain, being in these wicked bodies. Our spirits basically are groaning, being in these wicked bodies that are constantly going off, constantly doing things that it's not, that's against the scriptures. And our physical bodies are constantly in pain, dealing with the high stress of living in this society. It says, and not only they, but ourselves also, which have the first fruits of the Spirit, even we ourselves groan within ourselves, waiting for the adoption, to wit, the redemption of our body. And that's what we're looking for, that those new bodies that are not susceptible to sin. So we're not going to go off anymore. This is why you should hasten the day of the Lord, so you can be freed from these wicked bodies and from this wicked, this wicked mind that we have. This is Hebrews chapter 4, verse 8. It says, for if Yahushua had given them rest, then would he not afterward have spoken of another day? Yeah, so we don't have rest in this world, in this society that we live in. It says, there remaineth therefore a rest to the people of the Most High. Yeah, so that rest is what you should be seeking after. And you should be hastening, the return of the Most High, so we can get that rest. Because like it said in Micah 2:10, this is not our rest. So you're not supposed to get comfortable and complacent in this society. So Lord willing, that this was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rahakadosh. Again, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to all Akim, preaching His word in truth, in sincerity, and in faith. Shalom.